Yeah. So so far, actually, we had done orthographic projections, if you recall, until the last lecture. Now, there actually, what uh, the situation would be like, you'll have a pictorial drawing available, and then from that, you'll convert it into orthographic projections. That is what we did in the last topic. So this one actually is exactly opposite of the same. Okay. But please mute yourself. Yeah. So this is exactly opposite, the isometric projections. So here what we'll do is this pictorial drawings we'll try to draw, and that would be our purpose or the objective in this topic. We have to draw a pictorial drawing, but still it will be say engineering drawing. That is, you will be able to have the details of the object or uh, whatever shape related things are there. All those we have to obtain, but in the pictorial fashion, and we should be able to put up the dimensions also. So everything we try to obtain. For pictorial drawings, there are say two, three different possibilities. This is one of them, but we'll restrict our discussion only to this one, right? That is the isometric projection. Now, before we could go ahead in detail with this, let us have a look at this slide. And in this slide, you see what actually has been done is that the projections of a cube in a particular orientation have been obtained, right? Let me move this to the side. Yeah. So now let us first of all see or have a look at it, and let us see what exactly has been done in this drawing, and then we'll move further. So you see, if the first one, if you try to have a look at, let me change the pointer. Yeah, yeah. So if we consider this, say the first state, so we see a cube. It's top view and front view. Front view is above the XY line. This one is front view, and here we have the top. Now see, in this top view, what we can notice is that the object is say placed on the horizontal plane such that its vertical faces, like this line is representing a vertical face. This line representing a vertical face. Likewise, this one is representing a vertical face, and this also is representing a vertical face. So all these are equally inclined to the vertical plane that we realize. And also, if we consider this line, okay, so this line effectively that is from this A to C or E to G, whatever we call it, right? So that is all same, but at this location we'll have the body diagonal of the cube as well, which we can see here from E to C, or else it could be A to G. So these will represent the body diagonals, and this particular position allows the body diagonal, these two body diagonals to be parallel to the vertical plane. So what has been done here is, first of all, a perpendicular has been dropped on this body diagonal. And in the second step, this front view has been rotated about this point G. This G is not changing the position, rest of the points are changing, and in this situation, it is placed in such a fashion that this body diagonal, which was parallel to vertical plane, but was having inclination with the horizontal plane, right? this is made parallel to the horizontal plane also here. Okay, so this is the second step. Now this body diagonal is parallel to vertical plane and horizontal plane both. Then a corresponding top view has been obtained here, right? Then what is done from this second step to this third step? This top view has been rotated, and it is rotated such that this EC, right? This E1, C1 also we can call. This is perpendicular to the XY line, right? Eventually, this will mean that this E1, C1 is continuing to be parallel to the horizontal plane. In the second step, E1, C1 is parallel to the horizontal plane. This remains parallel to the horizontal plane in this third step also, but now it is perpendicular to the vertical plane. Here, this EC was parallel to horizontal plane as well as vertical plane. Here, this continues to be parallel to the vertical plane. Oh, sorry, parallel to the horizontal plane, but has now become perpendicular to the vertical plane. So that is why this C and E, these are coincident at this point. Okay. So E and C become coincident, and this point represents that body diagonal. So then this is the final position for this cube, which is achieved like this. If we consider this final front view, in particular we are concerned with the front view. So what do we observe? That here in this front view we have one face that is marked by the C, D, H and G. Dash is of course there on each letter, but I am not reciting it. So C, D, H, G. This is representing one face. Then the C, B, F, G. This again is representing one face. Then the C, D, A, B. This is also representing one face. So these three faces are visible. Okay. In the same one diagram, one front view, in this single front view, three faces of the cube are visible and the remaining three are hidden. So this bottom one is hidden, this one, that is A, then here you will have actually E. This C and E are coincident, but E name is missing here. So A, E, F, P. So this face is hidden, and likewise this A, D, H, E. This face is also hidden, and this bottom one. Okay, that is E, F, G, H. This is also hidden. So three faces are visible to us and three faces are hidden. So this eventually gives us maximum number of faces visible, we can say. Okay. Then apart from that, what do we observe here? If you have a look at all these, that is these three visible faces, one here, one at the top, and one here. All these three faces are looking like rhombuses, right? Each one is having a shape of a rhombus. And not only that, you see their shape and size are all exactly same. If you compare this top surface, top visible surface, and you compare this surface, suppose, right? Only the orientation or the shape of the face, orientation here and here is different, but other than that, shape and size are exactly same. That is also true for this one. And effectively, you will observe that all the six faces are actually identical for this case. The only thing is three are visible to us, but three are hidden. Okay. So this particular combination, what is available in this last front view, right? Where where the pointer is in this last front view. This actually is utilized for isometric projections. Somebody wanted to ask something? The microphone was on. Oh, I guess there is no question so far. Yeah, so this last step front view, this is what we will be utilized for obtaining the isometric projections. So now let us see, have a look at the next slide. Please keep this front view in your mind. This is the same image which we will be seeing in the next slide as well. Okay. So here you see it has been represented again. The only difference is now the overall surroundings have been changed. What has been done here? You see, here we have a set of vertical plane, horizontal plane, and a profile plane. Okay, and all the three are mutually perpendicular, of course. Then wherever all these are intersecting, so one of the corners of the cube has been placed there, right? Wherever all these three planes are intersecting, that is marked as O, and at this O here, one of the corners is placed. Another corner, again, I mean, in this particular view, another corner is exactly there because the body diagonal is giving the point. So A and G both are coincident. The nomenclature is different for the cube as compared to the previous slide, but the diagram is exactly same. By same, what I mean is the front view of the previous slide, in the last final front view of the previous slide. So this A and G are coincident. A eventually will be on the origin, that is in the bottom face, and G will be on the top face. Okay. And whatever we had discussed, all that is there. That is, three faces are visible to us. All the three faces are identical. Now you see, then what has been shown here is this one more plane, right, which is inclined to all these three planes equally. Okay, this is used as the plane of projection. Then we'll get what is visible here as the projection on this plane, right? So this will be our isometric view, isometric projection, sorry. Okay, and then this diagram here is showing the isometric projection of a cube and also giving its other finer details which we might which will be using, or which will be useful when we are trying to draw the isometric projections in the topic further as we go further. So here this one thing, of course, we had discussed that the faces are all identical because they are actually equally inclined, okay, to the plane of projection. So their shape and size remains same, but their orientations are different. But apart from that, there are a few more say, what do you call, the features which we can notice in this diagram. So now if we consider this particular location, then you see that we have three lines, 1, 2, and this 3. These all three are equally inclined. That is, their intermediate angles are 120 degrees. Here, here, as well as here. Okay. Then one of these is a vertical edge here. Of course, all other parallel, this one, these are all vertical. So this vertical edge. Apart from that, for this point C, if we consider, three edges are meeting, one is vertical, and the rest of the two, this one and this one, are 30-degree inclined to the horizontal direction. So these are the specific features. That is, in this particular projection, what we are obtaining, the edges are having this peculiar inclination. This one, and this one. So one is vertical, but the other two are 30-degree inclined with the horizontal. One more thing, I many times repeated that the faces are all identical, but their orientations are different. Apart from that, one more thing, let me explicitly mentioned. That is, see, when we say that all these rhombus, each of these rhombus is identical to the other, apart from its orientation, then by default, one more thing is implied in this, that these edges, this edge, this edge, this edge, or any of the.
उस गाने को वायरल हो गया था।
I hope it's still visible
वो
to
गाना
everyone.
वायरल हो गया था।
No, sir, your screen is not
So-
visible.
रूपाली यो बनता रैपर। यो 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 ए रूपाली पकड़ मेरी डाली, ए रूपाली बनाऊं तुझे रानी, ए रूपाली यो बनता रैपर।
Just a moment, I'll ask someone to watch this. Or maybe I'll lock the meeting because he may continue doing that. Yeah, so okay, so let's proceed further. So what I was saying is that this pointer option I'll have to change. That all these three faces are what do you call? I think some people are not able to join. Just a moment. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So this three faces are all equally inclined, so their orientation is different, but shape and size is same, and then thereby these lengths of these edges, right? Like CD, CA, or all actually whatever edges we have, they are actually having same lengths. Okay. So with this, I mean this view, whatever is available here, no, except for the hidden lines, usually we skip the hidden line. This is what will be termed as the what do you call isometric projection. Okay. Now here,
So,
few
sorry
terms.
to interrupt.
Pardon, yeah.
So I had a doubt that what was the role of POP, that plane? It just gave the top view. So,
No,
how
no,
will it be?
not top view. See here in this particular thing, this final view, if we are talking about, you see all these faces are equally inclined to the vertical plane. If we talk of this here, actually this is showing the different orientation. Whatever we have seen here this face, this face, this face, these are equally inclined to the vertical plane. But the same thing here is occurring with the plane of projection. So the previous one was just for visualizing that which kind of orientation the cube is having, and then how come say the three faces are becoming visible to us. That was the purpose of this slide, where in the third step we obtained this. Here what this is saying is, suppose we have a set of three planes, no? Profile plane, vertical plane, horizontal plane. Vertical plane we get the front view, profile plane we will get the side view, and on horizontal plane we will get the top view, right? Now if we have a plane of projection which is equally inclined to all these, right, and then this cube is placed over here like this, that is with one face parallel to VP, one parallel to profile plane, and one parallel to horizontal. So it will be in pairs, of course, right? So three faces, two faces parallel to vertical plane, two parallel to profile plane, two parallel to the horizontal plane. With this configuration, what will happen? You will have this you call plane of projection. Now if it is equally inclined to all, then the projection on this plane of projection will actually be the isometric projection. That is the thing. Okay, so that means for this cube here, if you simply have say a top view and front view, then this is square, whatever is visible here where the pointer is, this will be giving you the shape of the uh, front view. The front view will look like a square with one of the edges parallel to XY line. This will give the top view. So the top view again will be a square with one edge parallel to the XY line, right? But this isometric view is giving you what is visible here. Okay, so this is the one which we actually will be using for the isometric projections. That was the purpose of this plane. Now,
Okay, sir.
If the inclination with the of the POP with the different planes changes, then the angle FGH and other angles would change correspondingly.
yeah, but that is not that we are not going to do. We'll only be using this particular configuration. Right?
Okay, the equally inclined configuration.
Yes, this only we will be using. For isometric projection, this is what we will be using. That is the thing.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah,
is it
no,
possible
uh,
to achieve a isometric projection by rotating cube in a normal horizontal plane or vertical plane?
no. See, the previous slide only was for the purpose of, say, having the visualization that which kind of orientation of this cube is actually being is giving us the isometric projection. So I can say this thing, this front view, I can say is the isometric projection of a cube. Got the point? That for that purpose this was this complete thing here. Because directly if I show it like this, then exact thing might not come to everybody's mind. Getting my point? This plane is inclined, cube is placed somewhere, but here it's exactly, it is oriented in a specific fashion, and this is the front view. That is, one single view is being obtained for the cube in such a way that three faces are visible. So for that purpose only this slide is. Okay. Beyond this only we need to consider that, okay, a single projection is giving us all this. So this is the particular orientation what we are trying to achieve. We have considered the case of cube because this gives us the exact visualization of these equally inclined faces, this one, and this one. That is why the cube is considered as the basic unit. Afterwards, we'll further discuss that how this is useful for obtaining the isometric projections of different other objects. All of them don't have to be essentially cube, right? These will be with different shapes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here actually we have these uh, some definitions like isometric axes, lines, and planes. Maybe we can refer this diagram itself. So you see here, as I had mentioned, that what we observe here is that all these edges, okay, these edges are not having the same, what do you call, same length as that of the actual edge of a cube. But what we have is all these are equal in size, right? That is, if I consider this edge, this is giving the true length, right? But here, where is this in this diagram? This C dash D G dash, right, is here. So you see this is having reduced length. The length of this C dash G dash is this much from here up to here, this length. So it is reduced length. So all the edges as such are having reduced length in this, but they are all equal. Okay, that is what we observe. So all these actually are having the same length, but less than whatever was there for the actual cube. But what is identical is these are all same. So that is why any of these, like if I consider this edge, or if I consider this edge or this edge, all these are referred as isometric lines, right? So any length along this line will be same. What I mean is, if the cube had a certain length, suppose original length, right, of the edge, then the reduced length is marked here. The same is here, same is here. Okay. So here, if in particular, if I consider this point, then this one, and this one, these three edges mark the isometric axis, and any line in this diagram which is parallel to these isometric axes is referred as isometric line. So like this is an isometric line, this is an isometric line. Okay, fine. And then of course these faces, these faces, whatever are visible to us, these are referred as the isometric faces, and sorry, isometric planes, and whichever plane will be parallel to these, those also will be referred as isometric planes. Now next is that this what kind of orientation then we have to adopt. So this slide is giving this 1 point G and this 1 point O. So these, if we go to the previous one here, so one is corresponding to this. So one inclined line here, one inclined line here, and one vertical. Another way is corresponding to this. So one inclined line here, one inclined line here, and this one. Okay. So these both are actually drawn over here. And in this one in particular, you can see that what kind of significance actually these lines will have, that is in particular mentioned. So like if you consider this one, here either we can have depth or length. Likewise along this we can have depth or length, and height will be along this. Okay. So, and where are these three coming from? Again, I mean, we can see from here. One is corresponding to this CD, length or depth, CB, length or depth, and CO, height. Okay, so anything vertical is actually height is to be taken along this line, right? And then this can be either length or depth. This can be length or depth. When we are saying this can be length or depth, what actually is meant is, see, we chose a vertical plane here and we chose a profile plane here. So effectively this edge will be seen in the front view. This will be seen in the side view. So if this is in the side view, this could be called the what do you call, depth. This is seen in the front view, we'll call it length, right? So if we change this, suppose this vertical plane is here and profile plane is here, that these are exchanged, then this length depth will be exchanged. Nothing else will change. So along this can be length or depth, along this can be length or depth. Height will continue to be in the vertical direction. Then is scale. So for this, let us get back to this slide again, and then we'll discuss the scale further. Now we discussed that these all lengths, like these all edges are equal, but they are having reduced length. Now how much is this reduced? That we can get from this diagram. Like if you consider this CG, this has been reduced to this from this C to this location on XY, right? From this where the pointer is up to C dash. This is the reduced length corresponding to C dash G dash. C dash G dash is the true length, and from this pointer up to C dash is the reduced. Now, how much will this reduced length be? That is in what ratio? In what, by what fraction it is getting reduced? That we can obtain using the properties of this, what we call properties of this cube. So this is an edge, right? C dash to G dash is an edge. Suppose I consider that edge is having a length small a. Okay, then this is a body diagonal. So body diagonal for the cube will have a length square root 3a, right? Do I have the option to write? Let me check. Yeah. So this C dash E dash here will be root 3 root 3a, right? Considering that C dash G dash is a. Okay. So from this we can actually try to obtain that how much reduction will occur. Say if I consider this as theta. So this reduced length will actually be reduced length is from here I can call it that is from this diagram. This is C dash C1 dash. This is G1 dash, right? So C1 dash G1 dash will be equal to this C dash G dash cos theta, right? That is what we will have. So now this actually this cos theta tells us the amount by which the lengths have been reduced, right? And then how much is this value we get from this? If you consider this C dash E dash is root 3a, C dash G dash is a. So then you can get this angle from there, this, okay? And then you can get the theta from that, okay? So actually it comes out to be, I guess, 35.26 degrees, right? And you can also work it out if you want. So this cos 35.26, this much fraction is to be multiplied to the actual length so as to obtain the reduced length. Okay. So here that is what is done. So this whatever cos 35.26 whatever I mentioned, that actually comes out to be equal to this much quantity. Okay. And that is alternately obtained by drawing a scale here. Okay. So when we have to say draw the isometric projection, then we'll need all these reduced lengths again and again. So for that, what has been done, you can see here. Maybe I'll tell you a little with this. Just a moment. Taking a bit time. Sorry. I'll try to use this journal. Yeah, so what I wanted to mention is we have this this kind of thing you have, no? So this top surface in our isometric profile looks something like this, the top surface, right? So here you will have a 30-degree inclination. So this top surface is looking like a rhombus, okay? But actually we know that it is a square. For the cube, the top surface was a square. If I try to draw the same in this diagram itself, then rather than this being 30, it will be 45. So my cube will become like this. Okay. So rather than this rhombus, I'll have a cube like this. Okay. So you see, if I choose only these two lines, this one and this one, then I see what kind of reduction is occurring. Okay. So this line is with true length, right? And this one is reduced. Okay. So effectively, what we are having, the true length actually will be at 45 degrees. If it is, say, this one is a square, oh sorry, it's not cube. This I should call a square. Sorry. Yeah, this is a square. So now if this is a square, then what will happen? This inclination or this will be 45 degrees, or this inclination, this will be 45 degrees, right? So at 45 degrees, we have the true length, while at 30 degrees, we have the reduced length. Okay. So you have this line, 45-degree incline, true length. And this one, 30-degree, this has reduced length. And how is the reduction occurring? You can see here. If I join this from here, then see it starts from here and see here for true length. Let me change it. And here for true length beginning from here. While for this, what do you call it? For the reduced length, again it is beginning from here only, but it is ending here. So this reduction I can obtain by drawing it like this. Okay. So this total true length beginning from this point ending here, if I drop it down to this 30-degree line, then the 30-degree line is giving the reduced length. Okay. So using this, we have this scale drawn here in this line. Okay, so here you see the true length is drawn at a 45-degree inclined line and isometric length is drawn at a 30-degree inclined. So suppose our drawing has maximum dimensions up to 10 centimeter, then we'll draw the true length of 10 centimeter on true length scale and then get all the reduced lengths on the isometric scale. Okay, and then beyond within 10 centimeter, whichever is to be drawn, we'll immediately measure on the isometric length and then draw it. Okay, so this is how we obtain this isometric scale, directly measure and draw. Otherwise we have to calculate it again and again, which is not advisable also, right? So let us proceed further. Now here what is shown in this slide, there is one error. I'm sorry about this, but please keep this in mind. So here pen option, yeah, here this term is actually in all this, wherever it is mentioned, this is supposed to be root 2 divided by root 3, right? So this division sign is missing in this, so please bear it in mind. Yeah. Now what I was saying is, so the first diagram here, right? This is actually showing us the orthographic views. Okay. So this is showing the orthographic views, and then corresponding isometric projection is shown in this one. Okay. Now you see, we had already discussed that all the lengths are equal, but all are reduced than the actual thing. Whatever was the actual dimension, compared to that, it is reduced. So here what is shown is a cube whose age is 40. Okay. So when we draw this, then we get this rather than being 40, this is a reduced. Now suppose if we draw, rather than having this reduced length, suppose if we draw it with the actual length, then what will happen? All these, like this age or this age, all these edges actually are having the same length. So all will actually uniformly increase in size. So that means the cube will attain a higher size. And that is what is shown over here in this diagram. So here what has been done is, rather than reducing all the dimensions by this root 2 divided by root 3 and obtaining reduced picture of the cube, if we draw actual 40, then this increased size, whatever is shown in this, that is what is visible. Okay. So many times, since the purpose of isometric projection is generally to have a good visibility of all the maximum possible features in the single diagram, that is one thing. And secondly, as such, if we use scaling, then the diagram may become smaller or bigger depending on what kind of scale has been chosen. So keeping that in mind, what actually is done is, many times, rather than drawing isometric projection, that is where the actual reduced lengths are to be taken. Okay, rather than choosing these reduced lengths with the given dimensions directly, we draw the isometric projection, but now this is referred as isometric view. So the name is changing a bit. Here we have isometric projection. This one is referred as isometric view. Okay, and the difference is, in the isometric view, rather than using the isometric scale, we are drawing with the given dimensions. Okay, so that is the only difference. And as a result, what will happen? The drawing will increase in size, right? But we don't need to get the reduced length each time from the isometric scale, and we can draw it directly. Okay, so that is the difference between isometric projections and isometric views, and largely we may continue to draw the isometric views. However, when we draw the isometric views, then in some special cases, a few problems arise. Those we'll discuss later on, right? If we draw the isometric projections, that is with the reduced length, then those problems don't arise. But in case of isometric view, some problems arise. We'll discuss later on. Let us move further. So here now at the bottom, that we have this is square, and then this has been shown in three different orientations: A, then B, and then C. Eventually, I mean, if you compare it with the given views above, you see this A is representing when this square is drawn by keeping it in this configuration, right? This face and these are same. Likewise, diagram B, this one is identical to this position, right? And the third one is corresponding to this. So, of course, we usually will be drawing 3D drawings, right? We will obtain the isometric views for the three-dimensional objects. Here we have not done that, but all the same, when we are drawing a 2D square into into this isometric projections, or we are trying to obtain an isometric view for the same, then you see there are three possibilities, that whether we are considering it, say, for this orientation, or this. This one is of course invariably supposed to be the top view configuration that is given in this C. When we consider this square as the in the top view configuration, this is what the C is what we'll be obtaining. But if it is in front view or side view, then we'll obtain either this or this. Now here these are interchangeably used until unless we have decided which one is front view. If this one is for front view, then this will be for side. So this becomes front view, this becomes side view. But they can be exchanged also. This can be the front view, this can be the side view also. Okay, right. Now you see, okay, let us have a look at this slide. This again is just talking about the plane figures, but this will be helpful as we have to proceed further beyond this. This will be helpful. Yeah, so first of all, suppose if we have a rectangle and then we have to draw it as a front view configuration, or we have to draw it in the top view configuration. Then we already know that for the front view configuration, we'll have one vertical axis, right? Isometric axis we have discussed, no? Here. So for isometric axis, what you'll have? One vertical, this incline, this incline. So here we'll have height, OG is height, O2D either will be length or depth, I mean just a change of orientation, and the same goes for this. So any length or depth is to be at a 30-degree inclined line, and height will be vertical, right? So that for this rectangle, if we consider for the front view configuration, either AB or CB, one of these will be vertical and one will be inclined at 30 degrees. Of course here in general we may consider AB to be vertical. Okay, so when AB is kept vertical, then this is the configuration what we opt. Okay, now when we consider for the top view, this is what we obtain. So what is the difference? When we consider for the front view, where are we beginning with? We are keeping one vertical line and one 30-degree incline line, right? And along this vertical line, one of the lengths like AB is to be marked in. So we first of all look at that B here is kept here at this junction, right? Then along this L, length CB is to be marked. Along this length, along H, length BA is to be marked. Okay, so like this we look at these two. Beyond that, once A and C are located, then again we have discussed isometric lines. So CB and AD are parallel, so the same length we mark from A parallel to this. Length of BA is marked from C to B, and then we look at D. So like this will be completed. Next, let us have a case of triangle. Now with the triangle, what is the problem? If one of these 1, 2, 1, 3 or 2, 3, if one of these is kept along one of the isometric axes or parallel to one of the isometric axes, so then we'll be able to measure the exact dimension along that. But if it is inclined, then the faces of the cube, if you recall, faces are inclined. We know that its boundary edges, for those we know that the dimensions are identical, but for any other edge, any inclined edge, we won't be able to measure it exactly how or what it will be likely to be. So that is why what we need to do is we need to encompass it in a rectangle. Okay, so now for this rectangle isometric views we can obtain, right? So you see again 2 will be located here, 1 can be located on this by measuring the distance, and then parallel to this 2A will draw from 1B, so B will be located here, and then from this A here again, so this will be completed. Now you see We cannot measure directly 2, 3 or 3, 1 because these are not parallel to any of the isometric lines. But 3, this corner, this end point can be located on AB. So you measure this 3B here, mark this 3 somewhere here, right? And then end point is located, then we can join this 1 and 3 and 2 and 3. So like this will complete this triangle in the isometric view. Okay, and when it is in the top view configuration, these orientations are, this is at 30 degree, this also is at 30 degree. Here one was vertical, here both are 30 degree inclined. Again, you will mark this 1, 2 and AB. So rectangle will be completed. 2A taken along L, 2, 1 taken along D. Again, 3 will be located onto this line, right? And then you have to simply join 1, 3 and 2, 3. So that triangle will be completed. A similar exercise will actually be needed for a pentagon also, because for pentagon also we won't be able to have all the isometric lines. So we again encompass it within a square. Okay. Now for this square, first of all, we have to obtain the isometric configurations and then we'll locate the corners. So for the front view along H and L, one line vertical. So 1, 2 kept vertical, right? 1, 2 kept vertical, and then 2, 3 kept along this 30 degree inclined line. Next, what you will do, you will locate all A, B, C, D, E on this. So on this 1, 2, you will locate A. Measure this distance 1A and locate A. Likewise 2B, then locate B, then 3C, locate C. Likewise D here, E here, and then join them all. So first of all, locate these points and then join them all to obtain the pentagon in this front view configuration in the isometric view. For top view, again, both the lines incline 30 degrees and then we obtain this. So these points located on the rectangle, then you join them to obtain the top view configuration. Now beyond this, if you don't have a class, then I would like to proceed to draw a few things. If you have any class after this, then I'll have to stop. So please tell me.
So we have lunch break, then class at 1.
Okay. Okay, then I'll have to do it tomorrow then, right? So I'll stop. Oh yeah, there is next teacher in this classroom also, so I cannot continue. Actually, this disturbance is created, then some flow also goes. So some 10 minutes we lose. Yeah, somebody was saying something.
Yes,
I'll-
sir, I wanted to confirm that the shapes that are present at the left corner, the 3, they are in the plane of projection now.
This one, this or this one.
No, yes, sir, the first 3.
No, this will be either, I mean, here, if we are obtaining this view, then we are assuming this to be parallel to horizontal plane. We are obtaining this view, then it is assumed to be parallel to vertical plane or to the profile plane also, as the case may be. Was that your doubt?
No, sir, basically like the diagram we drew first, including the 4 planes for the cube. In that, where are we considering the first 3 figures?
These ones, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let us get back to this. Yeah. So if you consider this one, no, right? So actually that plane figure we are not considering anyway. What we are doing is only a 2D drawing is given, and then we are assuming that if it is corresponding to this, then what will be the isometric view? If we assume it to be corresponding to this, then what will be the isometric view? That is what we are trying to do.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll stop sharing. I don't know this fellow when he entered, then I don't know, probably I lost the recording. I'm sorry. I don't know to what extent it was recorded, but I'll upload whatever it was. And then tomorrow we'll continue. And if the need be, we'll have the lecture on Wednesday also, because this everyone should understand And this will be the last topic for us. And then I'll give time for submission accordingly. Right? Okay. So I'm stopping here. Next teacher is also waiting. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.